Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. This is the real weekly show, right? We did a special earlier in the week as a follow-up to annual town meeting, which happened last Saturday and last Monday night. So at our board meeting this week, we discussed the following. We have some road paving projects going on, spring paving, Meadow Lane, Back Street, Warren Street, Upper Main Street, and New Street, Sconset, all happening in the next few weeks. We have our election coming up, the annual town election, next Tuesday, April 10th. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Nantucket High School. I should mention, not only are the elected officials on there, there are 3 ballot questions, 3 debt exclusion override ballot questions. Only one of them is valid because of the action taken at town meeting. That is question 2, Hummock Pond Road Bike Path. That is the only item that was approved at town meeting to be on the election ballot. But we did the questions a long time ago, so they're on there. But whatever you vote on 1 and 3 will not matter. It's the vote on 2 that will matter. Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. We also had some public comment. Mr. Willauer resigned from the Nantucket Energy Study Committee, and we discussed the Energy Study Committee a little bit. We had Mr. Gasparo, Art Gasparo from the Airport Commission, come in and thank everybody who was involved for their help at town meeting and prior to that with regard to the airport issues. And he gave us an update on the airport manager search, and there are some stuff happening next weekend. The commission will have open interviews of the manager candidates on Monday the 16th. It is a holiday, but that's the way it worked out. And the public is free to attend those.
Oh, really? I thought oh, okay.
The interviews themselves are public. They're doing an assessment center the prior day, Sunday, which is not public. But the interviews themselves are public.
How many interviewees are we?
I want to say 4. I think they've narrowed it down to 4.
Any of them local?
I don't believe so.
All right.
No. So that's what's going on with airport. We had some appointments. We approved a Class 2 used car dealer license for Nantucket Auto Body. We had some liquor license change of managers, and then we discussed town meeting follow-up, and we just talked about what happens now. There are a bunch of articles, bylaw amendments that go to the Attorney General's office, home rule petitions get sent out to our legislators, and there is a bunch of other follow-up with budgets and projects and things like that. And we talked about Saturday, whether we liked Saturday or not, or what the feedback was that people were getting. Seems to be a little bit mixed. I think people, my own personal sense is that if people felt that if we could have gotten done on Saturday, that would have been better. They thought the weather was a factor, that maybe more people showed up than otherwise would have had it been a really nice day.
That's a good point.
I did have somebody comment, and this is something to think about, that perhaps if we ended maybe around, if we weren't going to be done by, say, 5, what if we ended around 4 and came back at 6? I'm worried about people not coming back, but there's not a quorum requirement for an annual town meeting, so.
What was the idea in doing it on a Saturday anyway?
Well, the board wanted to try something different to get more people there and make it easier for people to attend, and you know, people can't attend at night for a variety of reasons, and people can't attend on Saturdays for a variety of reasons. So you just got to pick. So they liked it, and I think they pretty much, the consensus was to try it again for next year. So maybe we can try to have fewer articles so we could get done in the one day. So I'm probably going to convene a little work group of town officials and maybe interested citizens to see if there are any ideas we could implement to make it better or improved for next year. So we talked about that. We have a Department of Revenue financial management review coming up. This is something that we had scheduled with DOR last fall. We got into their queue. They do these financial management reviews of towns all the time. We haven't had one since 1995, so we're going to have one now. They're going to be here all day on Wednesday, April 25th, so don't call that day because we're going to be busy. Well, they talk to finance staff, finance committee chair, board of selectmen chair, town administration staff, human resources staff, IT staff, about how the town's finances are managed, how bills are paid, how borrowing occurs, how the accounting is done, who does it, well, how do they do it, all manner of things.
Wow.
So it's a big deal.
So why do they wait this long to check it out?
Well, you have to request the review,
Oh.
And we didn't request one because we knew we had many, many things to improve upon. And we were in contact with DOR about those things. So now that we feel we've gotten to a point where we have an unqualified audit opinion, and we feel like now's the time for them to come and assess our operations. So they're going to be coming in April. Other business that we did was we accepted a resignation from the Airport Commission from Carl England. There will be 3 positions up then on the Airport Commission. Carl's position, which actually doesn't expire until 2013, but we'll have to fill it. And then there's 2 positions up for 2012. So we're going to roll it all into our annual appointment process, which will be occurring in June. But committee members and interested people, there will be notices in the paper and on the website. So if people are interested in that or any other committee, Town Government Study Committee is one that we really need to get people on. Be looking in the website or in the paper for notices.
Is this a typical time of year where people can really get into committees?
Yes.
Getting on them? It is.
Yes. This is the time to start thinking about that.
All right.
Okay, also we, what else did we do? No, that was about it for last night. We got out early, about 7 o'clock. It was a short meeting because people are kind of spent from town meeting. I know I am. Next week we have 2 meetings. We have our annual sort of swearing in ceremony of the new selectmen on Wednesday, the 11th at 10 a.m. in the Selectmen's Conference Room, which is a tiny room. It's probably not the greatest place to have that, but that's where we have it. And we have the Wednesday night meeting. And on our Wednesday night meeting, we have a couple of announcements. We are going to have a presentation from Marine and Coastal Resources Department on water quality. They're going to be talking about what they've spent over the last few years from the Waterways Improvement Fund on water quality and other items, and also an update of the water quality program. We have a taxi advisory committee. They've given me a little report on some changes they'd like to see in the regulations, some of which I think are fine, some of which aren't really that fine. So we're going to talk to the board about them.
Is there anything that we should know about that they want to change?
It's just things like they want to have a fine for a couple of items. They want to try to get in some regulations that we either already have or things that are already being done. For example, they think there should be more enforcement of the regulations. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's fine, but we have limited resources, and there's plenty of other things that have to be enforced. So things get enforced when they are properly brought in to the enforcing agent.
Is it mostly about parking and traffic?
It's parking and traffic is what they call rogue cabs, which are I guess essentially people who drive around providing cab services that aren't licensed.
Do we have people out there?
That happens from time to time, but they have to be identified, and you can't just call up and say, I think there's some rogue cabs around. You have to have details. Where'd you see it? What's the license plate number? What time of day? What day? So there's lots of details that people don't care to be involved with, but they need to be. So anyway, it's a committee that works hard and tries to make the taxi industry fair and objective and well run. So we appreciate their work. So we're going to have some discussion about that. DPW is giving us a brush cutting update. They're going a little crazy with the brush cutting. Not crazy. They're out and about in a big way doing brush cutting. Getting her done. He said that, not me. So DPW is going to come in and talk about that. Also, I'm going to give the board a goals update. They have 3 goals for 2011, 2012. I'm going to give them an update. I've got to write that update. I hope I have it.
Whose goals?
The board.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's about it. So, Gino, I wanted to also ask if anybody played town meeting bingo.
What's that?
Well, can I show it to you?
Sure.
Town meeting bingo was developed by a longtime citizen, resident, town meeting goer, community member. I don't know if I should say his name or not. I found out who it was, but this is really.
You can say his name.
Okay. His name is Harvey Young, and he's also my neighbor. So, what happens here is you play bingo as normal, and so a B would be a lawyer speaks on behalf of a client.
Oh, this is clever.
I is Linda Williams speaks. Citizen attempts.
Is this yours? Did you fill this out? No.
Bobby DaCosta and I filled this out.
Okay.
Yes. We didn't actually achieve bingo, though. Well, we think we did, but we weren't maybe paying attention to the bingo sheet. Citizen attempts to speak without the mic. Speaker says they used to summer here. Someone mentions the new public safety building. You are bound to get a bingo during a town meeting with this sheet, and it's so funny. However, you are not at any time to disrupt town meeting by calling out bingo, and it's a temptation, believe me. When you get even a letter,
well, what do you win if you get bingo?
You just win some notoriety.
How do you know you win if you don't say bingo?
You whisper it to the people around you.
Oh, okay.
That you got bingo.
That's it. That's the notoriety.
I heard that some people were trying to get bingo by doing things like texting the moderator and saying, "Can you remind us to remove our hats?" Because that's a bingo.
That's not good.
That's a letter. Or asking a certain member of the board to speak so they could get a letter. It's really funny. It's very clever, and it's all good. It's funny, but it's not disrespectful in any way at all.
It might even get more people to come next time.
And it might get people to pay attention a little bit.
That's true.
So I thought it was great. So remember, you can always go to GinoTV.com and look at the show, What's Going On in Town Government, at any time.
Yeah.
And you can make a comment.
Yes,
but only positive ones are accepted, right?
Nope. No.
But not mean ones.
Not mean ones. We will not accept those.
Constructive criticism is always welcome.
Absolutely.
But not like she's a, you know what.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
No. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. All right, so thanks very much. It's all good. See you next time.